One thing that I found when shooting outside that I kind of wanted to talk about for a few minutes is this attention to exposure. And this is where you really need to have a bit of a discerning eye when it comes to selecting your exposure in the middle of the day. It's, kind of one of the first really nice days of the year. It's close to 60 degrees out and it's nice and sunny. So I took a walk around and I took a couple shots, paying sort of special attention to areas that had disparate levels of sunlight that were causing occasions like this one, and on the very extreme end, like this one, to have sort of less than ideal levels of exposure in two different locations. So one thing to be aware of when you're going outside is your camera really can only expose properly for one of these two areas. Depending on the camera, the terminology refers to the difference as a level of stops. We don't need to go that deep into it, but it should be something that you're aware of when you're going to shoot outside. Is if you want to shoot this side of the side of a building like this one, and you're hoping to have someone walk along here, they're going to be overexposed, or if you try to expose for them, they're going to slightly underexpose the side of the building. And even this is a little bit overexposed over here and a little bit underexposed over here. And so neither of these shots is really ideal for what we're hoping for. So one thing to be aware of is which direction your sun is coming in, how powerful it is, and then how much of your shot is either in sunlight or out of sunlight. And just to be aware of those. I pulled this one as sort of the ideal lighting circumstance because you have the reflection of the bright blue day in the middle of in the reflections of the windows, but you're in a shaded street in the shade of this really tall building. But when you walk just to the corner, and so these two shots were taken just 5 feet apart from each other, you walk to the corner and you see the rest and everything else is exposed. This is now what was this exposure here. And being able to cut between those two is not really something that you can sort of comfortably do or effectively do when you're editing your video together. They just wouldn't cut together evenly because one of them is so dark when you're walking out of that, and one of them is so bright if you were walking into it.